and welcome to another episode of CapCut Live, helping you guys edit with CapCut. We're doing it again. It was really popular last time, so we're going to be hopping into this, and the room is starting to fill up. What is up? We got H&W Plays in here. We've got Sahil. We got Annette. What is up, Annette? We've got Joy, Lion. Awesome. So glad you all have shown up. Good evening. It is morning here. It is 11 a.m. in the morning where I am. Let me know where you guys are at. Comment down below. Let me know where you're from. I'm here in the United States, in Wisconsin. Love to see where you all are from. What is up, Ray's Cut? Joanna. We got Oreo Cupcake in here as well. Tony, wait, you're live this morning? I thought you did this last night. Yes, so we've been having internet issues where for some reason at night, everyone in my neighborhood's using up the internet to where I don't have good upload speed and it lags. So I tested it this morning and I have like triple the speed on a Sunday morning. So who knows? I might have to move these to middle of the day morning, maybe Saturday morning. We'll have to figure that out. But we're going to jump into CapCut here. We got Nigeria in the building. I'm in Sri Lanka, if I said that correctly. We got St. George, Utah, Cincinnati. I'm at Tunisia. I'm trying my best here. Let's see. Where else do we got? We've got from Liberia. Awesome. It's 1901 in South Africa. Malaysia. See, and this might be the benefit of doing this in the morning is because even though in the US it's morning, it tends to be afternoon, evening on the other side of the world. So it's, it seems to be a good time to maybe do these. But we're going to jump into this. I want to give you guys CapCut knowledge. I want to, if you've ever had questions and you're like, I've asked that question and maybe someone wrote out an answer, but like, I want to see it. I want to see it happen. I want to see you do it here. We've got CapCut hooked up on the screen here. So I'm able to show you exactly how I edit. I'm just using my iPad. So it's a bit of a bigger screen, but that way I can show you guys how to do different effects, different edits. And I'm sure you'll leave here today with some new knowledge about CapCut, which is going to be awesome. So yeah, let's hop into it. If you have any questions about CapCut, drop them down in the comment section. I want to answer them for you. Super pumped. And also, here's a cool thing. I want to test out background music. Yes, background music. I want to see if we can actually make this happen. So let me know in the chat here, before we jump into CapCut here, how loud this sounds. Is this a good background music volume? Let me know in the chat. I have it set to 10, and I think my audio is a lot louder than that. But let me know, is that a good volume? Does it need to be turned up? Does it need to be turned down? Because I figured it might be nice to have some background music. Let me know. How does this sound? Does it sound good? Sound bad? We want to get that correct. So that way when we do get into all the CapCut tutorial stuff, there'll be a little bit of sound effects going on in the background. We have a little bit of kind of chill lo-fi music going on with our edits. Do let me know. I want to make sure that it's not overbearing or you can just hear it a bit loud. Thank you, Annette. Let me go back to, let's try this. We'll turn it down there, and then we'll also turn it down on here a bit. Let me know how that sounds. If that sounds good, let me know in the chat. It's a little quiet. I'm okay with that. I'd rather a little bit of quiet than, overbearing. So hopefully that works. You do not need to spam the chat. I will get to your questions. I know you want to see a split transaction. See, you're commenting so much, you're not even typing it correctly. So I don't even know what a split transaction is, man. What's a split transaction? So if you do have a question, kind of describe your effect too, because there is the chance I don't even know what a split transaction is, which I don't. Oh, now you can't hear it at all. It's nice. Let me we'll mess around with it a little bit to see if we can get the music right. Or maybe I'll focus a little bit more on the music in the future. Here, I'll leave it at 5. So that way it's not super. Hopefully that's a good spot. Now you can't hear the music. Let me know now. I just turned it up 2 notches. But let's get into some CapCut stuff here. I want to help you guys. Let's see what questions we can answer here. How can I make montages? What type of montages are you wanting to make? Let me know, because I think with montages, let's think of a good example here where I could demonstrate montages. Let me know what kind of montage you're looking for. Are you like looking for those montages where it's like a certain character from a show and they're doing the little flashy transitions, if that's what you're going for? What I can do, how do you make edits sync better? This is actually very applicable to what I've been doing in this project. So in here, this is actually a sneak peek at the video I'll be dropping in the next day or two. So a little sneak peek of the video there. But what I do when I want to get things to sync is normally I start with music first. So I've got my music track down here in my timeline. And so what I like to do is I'll zoom in and I'm paying attention to the sound beats here. So right here, I can see that there's about to be a note that's going to hit. And if I scroll ahead, I can see this is the spot where another note's going to hit. If I scroll ahead, I can see this is the spot where the next note hits. So I'm looking at the sound waves in the audio to align my videos. So basically what I would do is I just sit here and I trim the video right to where it's about to hit. And then for the next part, I know that's the next spot. This is actually a little bit off, so I can drag this over a bit. So boom, right when the next note hits, that's where the next scene is. And I'll just kind of repeat that same process for each of my clips. That's usually the easiest way I've been able to get things to kind of sync together, is to start with music and then add my clips together, versus adding all your clips in and then finding a song. It's a lot difficult. It's much harder, because then you have to add all your clips in, and then you add the song in, and then you're like, how do I get this to work? What do I have? Now I've got to change these video clips around. And also the music affects how your video comes out. Like if you're doing a happy song, or if you're doing like I'm a boss, some cool kind of song, like that's going to affect what clips you're going to show in your timeline. So I start with music first and align based on that. And then I add all my clips in based on the music. That's how I would achieve that effect. And awesome, good volume, perfect. That was the comment I was hoping for. Here's a quick one I can answer. What is the best day to post on YouTube? In my opinion, any day. It does not matter. For live streams, however, it does matter, because y'all might not be around. We got 47 people in here, so that's pretty high for my usual live stream numbers. But you can actually go into your YouTube analytics, and it'll let you know when your audience is most likely on. So you can go into YouTube Studio, click Audience, and then you can scroll down and it'll let you know, oh, most of my audience watches Saturday mornings. You could post your video on a Saturday morning so you get a lot of views really quick. But at the same time, I don't think it matters too much. People will see your video whenever they come onto YouTube, so long as it's a good video. Let's see. Here is one. And sorry, I will try to get through all these questions too. So don't feel the need to spam. I'm going to try and make sure I get everyone's answered. If it's been like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, still haven't answered it, you can comment it again. There's no problem with that. Just don't post it every single minute. I'm not going to see it, more likely because you post every minute. I usually go pretty organized through the comments. So, how to make picture following moving green screen on CapCut. How to make a picture follow a moving green screen. That sounds interesting, but let me really show you how to get a picture to follow. Let me just do this. Actually, for this example, just because I don't have a picture ready to go right now, I'm just going to use an emoji for this picture example. So let me show you my screen here. So let's say this is our picture here. All right, this is our picture, dude. Whatever we want this picture to follow. There's two options that you have. And let me also move this comment off here so you can see what I'm doing. So we got this picture here. Maybe we want it to follow the seagulls I have in this clip. So I'm just going to drag this over to there. And let's say we want this picture to follow just this seagull. That's it. It has to follow that seagull. Let me do this too. There we go. So we want it to follow that seagull. So we have two options. We can either click this tracking button. So if we click this and we make a little circle, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this. This would be option number one. We put it on the seagull. We click the tracking button, and we'll see what it does. I don't think it's going to do a good job. Yeah, it did not do a good job. So that tracking feature is pretty sketch a lot of the times. But the other thing we can do is keyframes. So let's grab our picture. We're just going to put it over the bird here. And then what I can do is click the button over here, which is the keyframe button. It looks like a diamond with a plus button by it, whether you're using a phone or a tablet. So when I click that, it's going to put down a keyframe. And what I then have to do is go a little bit by frame. Oh, I see it moving that way. So then I just have to move this over. And another keyframe is already placed. And I just got to kind of repeat that process, slowly moving this. It takes a lot of time. But we're going to make sure this bird is not seen and just the picture's seen. Move it over here. Move it over here. And if I want to, I could resize it too every so often if I wanted it to shrink and whatnot. But I just have to keep going a few frames. You can see all the diamonds here in the timeline for the keyframes. And there we are at the end. So now when we go back, we click play, you'll see that the smiley face is going to track and follow that. So if you want to get a picture to track something and follow it around, it's all about keyframes. And I know it takes a lot of time to make that happen, but that's what people do. People spend a lot of time doing keyframes to get a certain effect. That's usually the easiest way. If you have a green screen video that you want to track something, you can use keyframes again to kind of resize that image or move it around the screen. You should be able to do that for a green screen picture, a green screen video. You can apply those keyframes. So hopefully that was helpful. Let's see here. Oh, yes. And this could also be helpful too. Thank you, Annette. I appreciate this. Put a Q in front of your question. So that way I know that you have a question and you're not just, commenting and chatting. Because a lot of times people are just chatting in the chat. I might miss a question over there. So that's a nice way to make sure your question stands out. Put a Q in front of it. All right. Let's see. Is there a way to lock the music and or overlays to your timeline? That would be super useful. I don't believe, I'm just checking here because I'm not 100% sure. Here we go. If there is really a lock button. I know in some other editors there are. I'm just confirming. No, there's not. There is not a lock button, sir. But I could see where that'd be useful because you don't want things to move around in your timeline. Let me actually double check something here. I'm just hopping over to LumaFusion, which Grubhub, LumaFusion's on Android now. They finally did it. In LumaFusion, you can lock clips. So you can actually lock an entire layer and then nothing will change or move around in that layer. So LumaFusion will do it. But it doesn't look like any of the other editors. It doesn't look like CapCut has it yet. Let me just get back to where I was. But yeah, so check out LumaFusion. I know you've been waiting so long, Grubud. You've been waiting for LumaFusion to come to Android. It is on Android now. All right, let me just click on. Let me just click on this one so I can come back to it. Just so you know, because we are 15 minutes in this live stream. Oh man, I can't even do that. You're gonna block my live stream sponsor. Oh, we'll come back. There we go. I'll pull that comment up because he knows what's coming, Big Oof Cars. This live stream is sponsored by Melon. They make it super easy to live stream in just 5 clicks. You can easily live stream to Facebook, to YouTube, to Twitch in just 5 clicks. They make it really easy for beginners where you don't want to get into all these advanced features and things like that. They allow you to do things like share your screen. I'm using Melon to be able to pull off sharing my screen here on my iPad. So definitely check them out. They are totally worth it. It's free to start using and trying. That link is in the description of this video, so definitely check them out. Starika's in here. Nice to see you. And yes, if you are new here, we put melons in the chat for melon. One of these days, I'm going to eat melon for melon. But yes, thank you, Melon, for sponsoring this live stream. And Starika, your crown looks amazing. Oh, my word. I can't believe you got the crown. That's absolutely nuts. It's not showing on stream when I pull up your comment the crown, but you've got that crown. That's some clout right there. Congrats. Awesome. I saw that. I saw you were commenting in the yesterday and Saturday, and you were like, "Man, I'm gonna have to go and clean off my crown a bit before the Sunday live stream." So, super cool, super cool. All right, let me slide up back to that one question. That's right. I don't have to make music because music playing in the background. Why is the flutter text and animation so blurry in CapCut PC? So probably the reason why, if you've used it in mobile and then it's a little different on the PC, it's probably because it's just a newer editor and they haven't worked out all the kinks yet. I plan on doing a video on the PC version of CapCut and covering like a lot of different effects and where to find them in the PC version versus the mobile. But yeah, they only released it a couple of months ago. They're used to mobile editors. So there's definitely some missing pieces in the PC version. So, eventually it might be fixed, but yeah, as for now, it's probably blurry because it's still a big work in progress. All right. Ooh, here's a question that's easy to answer. Can you edit one picture on CapCut? Because every time I try to edit a photo, it appears as a video. So you cannot. So CapCut is strictly a video editor, or at least I believe it is. You can't really edit photos in CapCut because it's a video editor. If you do want to edit a photo, you can always get something like Lightroom, which you can use some of the features in Lightroom for free. You could get something like PixArt. What's another one? There's one made by Google, but you have to use an actual photo editor. The only way you would really be able to do it in CapCut is to just, edit that photo. And when it turns it into a video, just take a screenshot with your phone of the photo you edited in CapCut. And then obviously that would save it as a screenshot on your phone and it'd be in photo format. So that could be a way to, potentially get around that. What's the best meme app to edit funny videos? I think you could totally do CapCut. It's just a matter of getting all the funny little video pieces into it. So you could use Jiffy. Jiffy is like the GIF, And then yes, I say GIF. I don't say GIF. I say GIF. You can fight me about that in the chat. You get Jiffy and you can download those different GIFs that are, funny and be able to add them into CapCut. I have a video showing how to do that. Or you can just use the screen recorder on your phone. If you have a Samsung or an iPhone, it's built in, or you can just download an app. But just screen record like the YouTube videos of those funny clips, like the hold up, wait a minute, or the, for all those funny clip videos. You can just screen record them and add them into your project in CapCut and be able to make those funny videos. So you don't have to necessarily use just a meme editing app. I don't know if there's really a dedicated one. It's more of people they have all the clips on their phone for all these funny videos, the cat in the hat with the belt and everything. They just have all those videos on their phone and then they just kind of splice them together in CapCut or InShot or, something like that. Where are keyframes in the PC app version? So the last time I checked in the PC version, they didn't have keyframes yet. And that's kind of what I was talking about, where, some of those things, like they released it for the sake of releasing it, letting people know CapCut's on PC and it's on Mac, but they did leave out a lot of different features that are normally in the mobile version. And they even have some features that aren't in the mobile version. One of those was keyframes. I'm sure it'll come eventually, but as of right now, last time I checked, there was no keyframes. I will be doing a video soon covering tips and tricks inside CapCut for PC and Mac. That should be coming out near the end of December. But in that video, I'm going to cover like where are all these different things inside of CapCut, if they are there yet, if they are not. I want to cover all that, so it's if it is hidden somewhere, you'll be able to find it. But at least as of right now, I'm just going to double check for you. So I really don't think they are in CapCut yet. So I'm going to pull that up real quick and just see, because I have a project in here. I'm just going to add something in real quick. Just want to see. Oh, no, they do have keyframes, sir. They do. So it's just instead of it being a little diamond, if you look at the far right side, and I can't really share my, well, wait, I can share this. I'm just going to drag it over here. Cool. I can share my screen for this. So keyframes in PC are on this side. So here, when I click, I'm just going to click on this stock video from CapCut in PC. Let me just move back. You'll notice on this side, you can add keyframes to videos. Try it out. So here's even here's even CapCut telling me to try out keyframes. So there are these little diamonds along the settings side. So you can place a diamond for position and position size, and then you can scroll ahead in the video. Let's go to here, and when I increase size, you'll notice it placed a keyframe right there. So now, if I were to click play here, it's going to do a zoom in. It's hard to see the zoom in because it's already doing that thing. But you can see on this side, the percentage is increasing. It is doing the keyframe. So that's where the keyframes are in that version. But now you know. Let me get back to where I was here. There we go. So they do have keyframes, but there are other things missing in there. It just doesn't look the same as the regular CapCut mobile app. So that's why I want to make a video showing you here's your keyframes, here's how you green screen, here's how you add captions, covering all that stuff so it's easier on a computer. How do you make better videos on Capricorn? I don't even know what Capricorn is, so I wouldn't know. Can you make a video on how to edit like the YouTuber Lil Board? He makes meme videos. Sure. Let me write it down. I'll kind of take a look at him and see if what is it? Lil Board. Yeah, if you guys ever want me to make a video like how to edit like this person, how to edit like that person, let me know. So that way I can yeah. Also, are we having some issues with the live stream? Is it laggy for anyone else? Let me know in the chat. I just got a message saying it was a bit laggy. So let me know if we're having some weird issues here. All right. Let me get to some of the more questions here. Can I add music without screen recording and extracted? Okay, and I'm seeing things are fine here. Some people are saying laggy a bit. Other people are saying it's fine. A little bit of lag. Okay. I'll try and work through it here. Let me get back up to this question. Can I add music without screen recording and extracted? So you can add so there is like MP3 downloads. Like there's apps where you can download the app on Android, for example, and it'll let you download YouTube videos. A lot of those I've seen are usually kind of scammy-esque and usually get like weird crap on your phone. So I don't recommend it. Screen recording, you're not downloading a weird app, you're not downloading weird files onto your device. So it's usually the safer route. That's why I usually recommend screen recording. I'll get comments from people being like, just use an MP3 downloader. What's going on? Well, sometimes people don't know what are the good ones to download and which ones aren't, and whether it's okay to do that. So I just use a screen recorder. It's usually the safer route. Question: how can I make a Hancock-like flight entry like a superhero? A Hancock flight. Scene. Let me just see if I can figure out what you're talking about. Okay, I kind of see maybe a bit of what's happening. Um, so what it looks like they would probably use for that, I just looked up like an image of it. What you could potentially do is have green screen or just a stale color on the floor. So maybe it's just like a sheet, like a colored sheet. You wave it out, you lay it on the floor. If you have an actual green screen, better. Then you're gonna want to put the camera. If you have to, tape it to the ceiling. I have done that before. I've taped my phone to the ceiling to get a shot. You could do that and click record. And then you're just going to stand there and look up. So what it's going to look like, because the camera's on the ceiling, is it's going to look like this, because you're standing, you're looking up at the camera at the ceiling. And what that'll do is you can then remove the green screen or the colored background and kind of crop it in. And then it looks like you're just sitting there, you're flying, and you can put whatever background. You'll probably want to use like drone footage. You can use something like pexels.com, find some drone footage and put yourself there and be able to do like a flying effect, if that makes sense. But yes, it is doable. It's just a matter of getting the right camera angle and then having like a green screen or a colored bed sheet to be able to remove that color from the background. I hope that makes sense. But yes, we're using a green screen. And probably the easiest way is to have your phone taped to like a ceiling, and then like a colored sheet underneath you. So hopefully that makes sense. Maybe I gotta make a video on that, how to do like a flying effect. Let's see. How do you make a time lapse, and also how do you do a zoom in? Here, let me get a zoom in your video with keyframes without breaking it on mobile. Yes, so let me show you. Here, I just gotta get to the right spot here. Also, I see lagging a bit, but a lot better than last week. Yes. I don't know how I'm going to solve this internet problem. I don't know if I need to stop live streams because it was never like this before, and now it's happened. And even though I've upgraded internet, it's I'll know how I'm going to solve this yet because I'm with the provider that can give me the fastest speeds here. So we might be in trouble. But how do we do a time lapse? And also how to do your zoom in. So probably starting with time lapse, the easiest way to time lapse is to just do time lapse on your phone. So most phones now have, let me show if I can show you this, have the time lapse button on your phone. So just doing that is probably the easiest route. Just using a time lapse built into your phone or using the app that records time lapses and turns them into a video. If you do it the manual route where it takes a photo and it gives you like 500 photos to turn into a time lapse, I would not recommend doing that in CapCut. It'd be very difficult because I don't think there's a way to change the length of a photo for every single photo at the same time. So you'd have to manually go through like 500 photos of a time lapse and make it 1 second each. It would be a real big pain. So what would be better would be to just use a time-lapse recording app or the time-lapse button built into your camera app on your phone. Use that and then add that into CapCut. If you were to do a zoom in effect with keyframes without breaking it on mobile, it shouldn't break it. So let me take your comment down here for a second. So if I wanted to do here, let me get back in here. Boop, boop, boop. So if I was to do like a zoom in on this beach here, so I could click, I could place keyframe, I could scroll ahead a bit. We'll scroll a bit here, click another keyframe, and then we'll just do a zoom in. Like, it's not gonna, I feel like the breaking the video part has more to do. Ooh, 1 second. Bonk. We are. My mouse is stuck to. My mouse. This is my real mouse. This isn't even my iPad mouse. I can't get to my computer to go back and show my screen. Oh dear me. All right. Well, hold on a little second here. We're gonna popper doodle that. No, how did that work, man? I'm literally stuck. What on earth? I've never had this issue before. Okay, hold up. There we go. Now we're back. What on earth? My for some reason my MacBook mouse connected to my iPad and thus forced me to like use my mouse only on my iPad. And I couldn't come back here to show my face. But the reason it could be breaking your phone, I don't know what type of phone you have. If it's like a cheaper Android phone or an older iPhone, to where like the app's crashing, there might not be a way around that. What you might have to do is just not preview your video. So you might be able to scroll through the timeline, but if you click play, I don't know if playing the preview breaks your phone. It makes it like exit the app. But you just have to be careful. Like, if you're working on a limited, device, it might just be what you have to do. Or here'd be another idea. Just make a separate project. And then whatever video you want the keyframes to be applied to, only add that video clip. Do the keyframe thing, export that one video, and then add it to your project with all the other videos. So instead of, you have this project with text and color grades and music to where it's, CapCut's overworking, you just take that one video you need to apply effect to, do the effect in a separate project, and then add, export it, and then add that video that has already the keyframes all adjusted and applied, to that project. Does that make sense? You're basically doing the effect in one project and then exporting that video and putting it into the project with all the other elements. So that way, CapCut's not seeing, oh man, now there's keyframes in here. This is a mess. All it's seeing then is just a finished video that already has like the zoom in effect applied. So try that. That might actually help solve the problem there. Let's see. Where are we at? 11:33. Let's zoom ahead a little bit. Oh, I can hear the music a bit too. That's nice. Some lag, no lag. At least it's not lagging like last time. Because if it was lagging like last time, if I would have done it last night, like right now my upload speeds on my internet are 20. I have 20 upload speed. Last night I had less than 10. That's how bad it was. Which I can't do a live stream on less than 10, I don't think. It'd be so bad. So now we're kind of at like 20-ish, which is a lot more doable. But I definitely will have to look and see if I can find better internet. If I can't, I don't know if I can keep doing these live streams if it's going to be super laggy. I'll have to rewatch the live stream and see how it looks. Can I have muffled sounds in CapCut? That's an interesting question. Let's see. I'm actually taking a look here. Let me just show you my screen here as I look. Actually, here, let me do this real quick. So make sure. Okay. I just don't want you guys to see personal photos, so that's why I show my screen, show myself sometimes so I can access different files. But here we go. All right. So I got this video of me here. Let's see if we've got voice effects. If one of these, so you could look into this. These are like voice effects you can apply to your audio. So something like this might work, where maybe something like distorted or low might be able to give you a muffled sound. The other thing you could do is detach your audio, okay? Or what you do, I don't know if you have an iPhone or an Android, but you could actually take the audio from your video and put it into something like a music software. So if you have iPhone, you have GarageBand. You could just add your video to GarageBand. Or if you have an Android phone, there's other like music software or audio editors that you can get for your phone. And in there, you usually have way more effects that you can apply to your audio to where you might be able to muffle your audio a bit. I know that's extensive. And then you would export the audio and, add it into CapCut and then, line it up with your video. So that way you now have the muffled audio. Extensive work, I know, but that's probably the workaround you would have to do. So just to repeat that, if that didn't make sense, you're going to take your video and add it to an audio editor or a music editing software where you can make music, add that audio in, and then you can apply all the cool effects and stuff in there because it's designed for audio effects. Export that from the audio editor, add it to CapCut, and line the audio up with your mouth or voice or whatever you're doing. And then you would have that muffled effect. Whew, good luck, sir. it's probably how you're going to have to do it. Jeepers, cripes. Yikes. Another name. Can you edit like this person? I will add it right under little board. Ben Azalart. Added, sir. I'll take a look. Oh, no, you don't, Tony. No, you don't, Tony. If I was in Utah, I'd have to use Starlink because of all them mountains, sir. Don't talk to me about Wisconsin. Wisconsin's pretty flat. We ain't got no crazy stuff. It's because I'm boonies, live in the boonies, man. I gotta get closer to a city or something so I can have like fiber internet or something. I am thinking about that. I'm totally thinking about moving just for the sake of internet, which is a problem. Or maybe I just need to do something else. Maybe instead of live streams, we can move this to a different app. Maybe we can move it to Clubhouse. I know I've talked about Clubhouse a ton in my live streams, but it sure makes it easier to, internet isn't such a big requirement where I've got to have like HD video streaming out of my house. Starika says Whiskolag. That's a way to put it, Whiskolag. But it would be cool if we did something like Clubhouse, because then Clubhouse, you can actually interact with me. We can actually have a conversation, talk about it. I can walk you through stuff. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see. Scrolling through. Got that one answered. Don't stop live streaming. I love your live streams. I know. I want to continue doing the live streams, but it's really difficult, if you guys aren't being able to see what I'm doing or, it's lagging like crazy. It's just frustrating. It's very frustrating. Let's see. Question. But I want to record a background music that could be longer than 20 minutes and that takes a lot of time to record it. It might take a lot. I don't know how it's a question though. There's not really a question in here. I want to record background music that could be longer than 20 minutes, and that takes a lot of time to record it. It might take a lot of time to record it, and that might be what you have to go through. Sometimes people edit videos for hours upon hours at a time just to get the right effect. Like, you know how long Mr. Beast probably takes? How long his videos take to edit? Weeks of editing to perfect it. So an editor might be stuck on just a 10-second part of a video for hours. It might just be what you have to suffer through. If I wanted to have cool text effects, kind of like in PS, which I think you mean Photoshop, if I'm guessing that's what PS means, how would I do that? So inside of CapCut, let me do this. There we go. The only real cool text effects that you're really going to have access to would be like these text templates. So if you open these up, there are some kind of like animated type text things that kind of look cool. They're a little bit more well designed. You can go through these. Like they have some social media one. They have Christmas, titles, outros, vlogs. You kind of look through these. That would be probably the closest you could get. Because I think with the only editor that I've seen people been able to export outside files into an editor on a mobile device is something like LumaFusion. I've seen people actually make text templates inside of now I left my project. I've seen people make text templates inside of LumaFusion, and you're able to use those and whatnot in your projects. But with CapCut, not necessarily. You can only usually use what's really built in there, which is unfortunate, but yeah, that's what you got to kind of work with. Best export settings for Instagram Reels. Whatever you filmed it in. There's no real special buttons you need to press in CapCut really for exporting a project. The main thing would be just to record it high quality already, whether it be 1080p or 4K, and then bring it into CapCut. Then you can export at 4K or 1080p, but there's nothing really you can adjust inside of CapCut per se. Let's see. Let's take a drink. How do you do Wednesday hand with a green screen suit? Okay, I think you're talking about like the actual hand thing. That would be interesting. So the most ideal way, because the thing with green screens, you need that's probably the problem. With green screens, it needs to be very well lit. But in the case of like, Wednesday and things like that, it's usually very dark settings. So it's like, how do I make, how would I do that effect? You could do, whether you have a green screen or like a bed sheet, you could maybe do that, like wrap around your hand. And so you have like the hand here. Let me actually do this. You have the hand here. You got like something green screen there. Maybe it's more zoomed in on your hand. But make it very well lit so that way you can remove your arm, basically. What you then can do is color grade your footage to look more darker and give it that more like dark look that you would see in like the Wednesday show. So, for example, on CapCut here, here's an example. And I actually talk about this coming up in one of the live streams. But for example, if I were to take this, go to the adjustments, this is a bright scene here. This is really bright. But what happens if I make it darker and I take the saturation and I turn it down and I get a vignette and I put a vignette on? Now we've totally changed the mood of this. We could also maybe take the contrast. We'll turn the contrast up a bit. So look at this scene, and we'll warm it up. Look at this scene. This is a much more intense scene just with the color grading. And now if we reverse this all back, now we got a happy scene again. Now we're back to happy. So just by color grading, we can totally change how the scene looks. So start with a bright scene where you can have the hand, do the green screen. You just need like a green screen sleeve or a green screen suit. Or you could try like taking something that's a completely one color, like a blue shirt. Put that like up your arm here and just do a zoomed in shot of the hands. You can have it like moving. It might look weird, but it's probably as close as you're going to get. And then color grade it dark so that way you get that look, but can still have the, be able to make the arm look like it's just walking by itself or the hand look like it's moving by yourself. Hopefully that's helpful. That's how I would personally try and go about doing it. How do I put text behind someone? Yes, we can actually demonstrate that. That is a one we can definitely do. So we've got me here. What we'll actually do is I'm going to split it, and we got me here. So what we would need to do for this, we want to copy this, skadoosh, and we want to make it a overlay. Where's overlay? Here we go. Click the overlay button, and we want to drag it one right on top of the other. So I'm going to grab that, drop it right there. So we have two videos stacked on top of each other. What we then need to do is go to text, add text, and let's see if it'll let me type here. System, type, test. Cool. Let's go check mark here. And we'll put that over here. And I think this should work, hopefully. Just going to send it for the full clip. Cool. We got test. Then what we're going to do, we are going to go to the overlay here. What we actually might need to do, layers. Oh, that's probably how we're going to have to do it. I'm just trying to think through the easiest way to make the text behind it. What we might actually have to do is export this and then put the text in. Because ultimately what you're going to do is you're going to click on this, you're going to do cutout, you're going to do remove background. But in order for this to be layered properly, we would need to text as a layer. So let me do this real quick. I'm going to delete this part just to see if I can demonstrate this for you. I'm going to export it. We're going to do it properly here. Boom. Done. Go back into here. Cool. All right. I'm going to show my screen here first. Show myself here for a second just so I can add this in without y'all seeing all my stuff. Cool. Cool. So we just added the exact same video in. That's what this is. We're just going to trim it to where the test text is. Cool. What's that? The text is behind him. How's that happening? So let me show you the, let me go back to the overlay here. Where's overlay? Boop, 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 boop. Oh, cool. That's there. So what's happening here? I hope this is making sense. If you just saw what kind of happened, you'll see the text is behind me. I do need to align the video better with the overlay here. We go to overlay, make sure this is lined up properly. So that's where the video starts. What you can see is I exported the text. Yeah, I'll have to do a little bit of aligning here. But basically what's happening is I first exported the video with just a text on screen over in front of everything. Then I added an overlay of the exact same video clip and removed the background. So now what that's essentially doing is me as a figure, I am in the front now because I just removed the background, and it's showing the text behind the screen, which gives us now this text effect where you can see now the text is behind behind me. But really what's happening here, let me just turn the opacity down, is we are just removing the green screen. Let me also change the opacity here just so you can see what's happening. It's literally just me. I just removed the background from myself and added the video clip of what I exported, which was just text in front of me on the screen. So that's what's giving this illusion of the text being in front of me, is the fact that I literally just exported a video with the text in front of me and then just remove the background. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if that's making sense. Is that kind of trippy? Is that a kind of trippy effect? Is that trippy? Sounds like it's kind of trippy based on what I'm seeing there from that one. But that's how that effect works. Maybe I'll make an official video showing how to do it so it makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, you're starting with the video with the text on it. You export that, re-add it in, and then just add the exact same clip over the top with a removed background. It's complex, I know, but that is the secret of how to do it. Seems like I need to make an official tutorial there to show how to do that. How's your day? It's going pretty good. I woke up, I'm here. I've got plans to film later today. Yeah, I think things are going pretty good. All right. So let's keep going on with these questions. Hopefully this is valuable. Hope you're getting value. I'm going to try and get through a few more of your guys' CapCut questions and cover them. So that way it is useful to you. As a reminder, this live stream is sponsored by Melon. They let you live stream in just 5 clips to Facebook, to YouTube, to Twitch, and other platforms. Completely free to try out. The link is down below in the description if you want to check them out. Completely free to sign up. If we keep getting signups, I'm going to dress up in that melon costume again. It's going to be hot. So there's a little fun incentive there. The melon costume will return if we get some more signups there. But thank you, Melon, for sponsoring this live stream. I'm using them for my lives. It's been very easy to be able to do this, be able to share my screens, and be able to do all this, cool editing tricks here. So definitely worth checking out. So glad that they have been such a long-term sponsor on this channel. All right, let's get back into it. Are you going to make another live stream like this? I can. It seems like a lot of you guys do find these useful. I usually have a pretty big viewer base in here whenever I do these CapCut live streams, so I'll probably do a few more. Maybe we can cover very specific CapCut tricks. Like maybe we spend a day focusing on keyframes and the things you can do with keyframes. Maybe we spend a day talking about overlays. Let me know what you guys think about that. Would it be cool to have like, all right, here's the topic. Here's how we make better, how do we use transitions to make our videos look cool? Or if you just like this open format where it's just like, oh, wow, I'm learning a lot of different things. I'm learning about keyframes. I'm learning about putting text in the background. It's covered a whole wide range of stuff. Let me know what you guys think. If you like it more specific on a certain CapCut topic or just all over the place, let me know. All right. Going to the questions. How to make a smooth flowing animation from video to video. I guess it all depends what you mean by smooth flowing. Here, let me get rid of the. Here, let me show you my screen here. Let me get rid of our little experiment here that we were doing. All right, so we just got this video here. So, I don't know if there's a real like method to it. Like I'm just gonna click transition. You could do something like a mix transition and turn up the time it takes. And then it's going to, if you do something like this, we click play here, it's going to do a very smooth transition over to this video I did. So I think it'd probably all have to do with the transition. In case you didn't know about transitions, you just click this white line here in between both of your clips. And that'll pull up the transitions that you can choose from. There are ones like the camera movement where it'll do like a smooth, like, to the right, to the left, different whoosh or blur effects that you can, kind of try out. Some of my favorites are these, kind of fast camera movement ones where it zooms in that I think are cool. I also like these slide downs, like to the right, where it's like a whoosh to the right, kind of like that transition. But that's really all it, that's all really, really it is. I don't know if that's super helpful or not, but that's kind of, transitions are designed to just go from one clip to another, like from one scene to another, not just put them in between your video clips. Like I am changing camera angles. Like if I was to go from this shot to a shot like this, I would put a transition because we are changing the camera angle. I'm now moving to a corner. We're now showing a different screen. You don't want to just throw transitions in there for the sake of throwing transitions in there. It's like, here's a new camera angle. Here's a new shot. That's where transitions make sense. Watch movies. Watch where movies put transitions. It's very rarely. It's usually when it's a complete scene change. We're moving on to a different act, a different part of the movie. This probably as often as you really want to do transitions is scene change and things like that. Can you change a added overlay's color and make it fade into another color? Like maybe a logo that fades from white to blue or something? Ooh, it'd be very, I think it's doable to make a logo kind of change color and fade. It'd just be very, very difficult. The way I'm picturing it happening is just a crazy way that would be a lot of work. if you were to make the inside part of the logo green and then remove the background, and then you could change the color of whatever's behind the green screen, and that would change the color of the logo, and you could make it change colors. If you can't tell, that's really complex, and would require a lot of different steps. So it is doable. It has to do with, it probably have to do with doing a green screen, changing the color of the logo to green, removing that green background so that way just behind the logo is transparent, and then you can just use a stale color and change the color behind the logo, and that'll ultimately change the logo's color. Very complicated. But yeah, not very easy to do. It'd probably be easier to go to Fiverr and have someone just do it for you. How do you blur the background? I did do a video on how to blur backgrounds. If you search how to do background blur CapCut, video will pop up. Actually, I can show it. It's easy enough. I can show it here. So we have my video of myself here. All I'm going to do, let me just turn your comment off here too. All I'm going to do is go over, I'm going to copy, and I'm going to move it to the overlay. So I have a video on top of the video, the exact same video on top of the exact same video. Okay. That's what we got here. Same video on top of the exact same video. We click on the one we click on this one, which is going to be the background. And we are going to go to the effects, which actually I think means, let's go back here. I think we just click effects, video effects. We go to basic. And then in here, we can do something like, where is just a regular blur? Here's blur. Blur, check. Drag that over. There we go. And then what we're going to do, because all it's doing, it's blurring the video in the background. We're going to click the video on top, and we're going to click cut out and remove background. And poof, we've got the blurry background effect going on here. So what's happening is this, we have two videos that are exactly the same on top of each other. We applied a blur effect to the first video, and then the video on top of it, we removed the background. So what's happening here, I'm doing the opacity trick again, just to show this. If we turn the opacity down, this is our first clip. This is just the main one in the timeline. We just made the entire clip blurry. And then we added the same clip on top and removed the background, which makes me in focus and the background blurry. So now we have a blur effect happening here where everything in the background is blurry. We can also click on this video. If we go back to the effects section here, we can also adjust the effects of it. So we can increase the blur if we wanted to, or decrease it, just make it a tiny bit blurry so it looks more realistic, or we could increase it and make it really, really blurry, which gives it, a really focused effect. You'll notice it's not the greatest. Like, it does kind of look a little bit weird around my hands here, but it is a way to get that, kind of blur effect applied. So hopefully that makes good sense. All right. So we are wrapping up. Let me just take a look and just see what other questions we've got here. As we wrap it up, can you make turbulence like the liquid effect? I have seen this comment a few times. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by turbulence. The only real way to do a lot of these effects, I'm just going to back up here and show my screen here. The only real way to do something like a turbulence effect is in the effects section. So you go to effects, video effects, you're going to find a lot of those in here. You'll also find things like body effects. If you haven't been in body effects yet, there are some different things that you can apply that are just related to the body, like an outline glow. I thought someone said, how do you make like a white glow effect? You could do like this electric bar or something similar, this gas glow. Obviously it's not perfect. I probably need a better background here. But you could do different things like that. Like I could click this electric glow, adjust, and turn it into a white color. See if I can find white here. That would be like the kind of the glow effect there. But for something like turbulence, I think it would be video basic. And I believe there's like camera shake in here, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just see if I can find the the shake. And also might be under party because yeah, there's like throbbing in here. I think there is also a shake one. Unreal, I believe, is a shake one. Oh no, that's like a glitchy one. Here's shake. So here's like a shake. There's another kind of shake. So you can kind of explore some of these. That's going to be the best way to be able to do like a turbulence type effect. That's where a lot of people are finding the different effects. And then some of these also, you can click the adjust button. And this is where you can kind of change how things, the speed of the shake. I think this was the other shake one. So if we click adjust, we can change the speed of we could change the range, or if we just want to do a little or more. I'm not the biggest fan of that effect because it makes my head hurt. But yes, that's kind of where a lot of those different effects can be found. So just go to the main video effects section. Don't have any clips selected. Just go all the way back. Look at the video effects section. You will see all the different effects there. How can you make objects float? That one would be a little trickier. So you can either do something like trying to think. It'd be a mixture of, you have, let's say, my cup here. Maybe I take a video of it in front of a green screen and then add it as an overlay. Okay, so first I set this up, put a green screen behind it or something, take a photo, remove the background, add it into my project. So really, it's just an overlay on my screen I can drag anywhere. Then I can pretend that I'm holding the cup and it's just an overlay. And then using keyframes, I could kind of make it, move up and down and around to give it like a floating effect. Or if you wanted to, you could get some invisible string and attach it to the cup. And then you could pick it up in front of a green screen and take a video, and that'll give it a little floating effect. So I could sit here. Really, I had a green screen here and did it as an overlay, but then the cup, rises and floats. And I'm just doing it by hand. I'm using invisible string in front of a green screen to cause that floating effect. That would probably look more realistic. But yeah. So it looks like the stream has been delayed. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do these live streams anymore, but we are at the end of the live stream. So we will try and solve the internet problem in the next coming days ahead, if it's possible. Because obviously we're having issues with that. But thank you so much for coming to this CapCut editing one. We will do this again in the near future. So hopefully you got some value out of this live stream, and hope to see you all in the next one. Adios.